Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using The Gilded Tarot by Ciro Marchetti, I believe. A companion book by Barbara, I can't read your name. Mott? No. Moore. Barbara Moore. Which I'm not going to use that, but I think if I turn this right side up. There's the information. It's a 2004 item. Llewellyn.com is there somewhere. So if you freeze frame there, you can find that if you're interested. 2004, but still, who knows what you can do with that. Supportive oracle cards are Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed. Okay, there's a bunch of websites on the back here. If you freeze frame there, you can search those out. There's one for her, Colette Baron Reed. I'm going to show you another part here. So hers is like right somewhere there. If you freeze frame, you'll find it. ColetteBaronReed.com. There's a few other ones. DeviantArt.com. I'll even show you this one, just in case you find something on there that you want. I think DeviantArt is on this one. So if you freeze frame there, you want any of that information. I believe this is a 2009, I believe, deck. But if you want that information, if you want to have fun with it, have fun with it. Okay. What do we have for Cancer? Okay, you have good cards. Let's see up the other side. Ooh, these are good ones too. You might have to help somebody face facts. I think you might have to help somebody literally face facts. Kind of like that's not working. That's not working. Because you have a very, I think you're going to have to help somebody face facts. Something, for somebody else is going through this Three of Swords. This is the heartbreak. And I feel like you're coming forward like, I don't want this to keep happening to them. So I'm coming forward like, I want them to face the facts of what they're dealing with. Not because I don't want them to endure more pain. I know it's hard for them, and I don't want to, I'm not looking to kick them when they're down, and I'm worried they're going to feel that way. The reason I'm coming forward is kind of like I don't want somebody to keep tripping you and keep pushing you down. Now that you fell, it's bad enough, but I don't want this to keep happening. And I feel like you're going towards somebody like, listen, I want to talk about this. I don't want this to keep happening to you. So listen to me so I can help you. You're trying to bring forth the truth. Somebody you care about, you just want them to see the truth about what's going on here. The Spiral Dancer talks about pattern to me. And then you got this card here, the Justice card. You've seen it happen multiple times. If you thought it was just going to be one and done and it's over and it's not going to keep happening, I don't think you'd say anything if you didn't think it was necessary. But it's kind of like, this keeps happening. They keep having this problem. And they don't listen until they're in one of these moments. I think that's another piece of it. Usually, when things are going the way they think when things are going in a pleasurable way for them, they don't want to hear it. They won't hear it, no. When they're having rough times, they're looking for answers, they're having a hard time of it, that's when they'll listen. So that's when you got to come forward. I feel like this is hard for you only in the sense of I don't enjoy somebody being in pain, especially when you care about them. But you're like, if I don't tell them now, they're not going to listen to me when they get back up. Like when they're in the high point of the cycle, they're not going to hear it. They're not going to want to listen to me. Only when they're at the low point will they actually listen. So I have no choice. I have to try. I have to try to say something. And it's kind of like, it's not just going to be one talk. You're going to have to keep talking to this person on occasion. You have to keep reminding them you're on their side. You're trying to help them. You just want to remind them. When they start heading back into this cycle, you got to kind of listen, I know we talked about that before. I see you heading back that way. I really don't want that for you. I really believe you deserve a lot better than that. And only you can stop you from going into that cycle again. So, and you're trying to help them. It's hard. I feel like this is the most difficult is because some of them might be having that little bit of a pity party energy there. They don't want to believe it. They don't want to believe it's they're, no, how do I want to put this? It's kind of like believing that, life just keeps happening to me and I have no control over it. Versus, recognizing, like, letting some type of personality into your life over and over again. Like, some people, like, when people have, like a certain type of demeaning, sarcastic flavor to them, like, when it's demeaning. Like, I remember I met somebody years ago, and in the first conversation, we were talking about something, and they said, well, let's not be stupid, blah, 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 blah. And I just remember, like, it's like they passively aggressively called me stupid, and I was just like, wait, what? And I realized that in the beginning, like, that's like the gateway. When somebody's used, like, they're trying to find, like, permission to use certain words, and that's how they kind of get you into it. And it's almost like you notice this with this person. There's certain type of people they let near them. There's, like, certain type of bad elements they're letting near them, and they're warming up to things that they shouldn't be warming up to, and they keep doing the cycle. And you're like, I see this person coming toward you. I know it's a new person, but they have these bad traits that you're always attracted to that always lead to ruin. I don't want that to happen to you. And you're trying to help. You're trying to point it out. This energy is very stuck. Because I think this is actually very good. In this situation, this is very good. They're having a hard time moving forward, but they're not backsliding at the same time. It's kind of like they slid halfway down the hill, and when you keep talking to them, they don't slide any farther down, but they're not ascending yet either. They're at this little kind of like, they have to kind of soak it in and like really think about it. Like, wait a minute, the Cancer's telling me something. And I feel like this person does trust that you are on their side, if that makes sense. Like, they don't think you have animosity towards them. They want to believe that you're just not seeing it in the proper perspective. They want to believe that, but you're kind of making too much sense for them, too much in a good way. And they're kind of looking at this like, wait, well, I don't know. Maybe the Cancer's right. I don't know. They don't want to believe it. You're making really good points. It's hard. This is like a hard thing to break. This is not easy. Like, life doesn't usually work with the hard things like that. You just don't hear, somebody just doesn't run up to you and says, hey, here's the answer. And they're like, oh, what? Don't talk to these type of people? They're going to ruin my life? Okay, I'll just move on. It never works like that. It takes a while of going, really? Like, they don't think that type of person, that lying, cheating, stealing person is good for me. I mean, they're just doing that with other people. I don't think they do that to me. But the Cancer's saying, it's other people today, it's you tomorrow. I mean, the Cancer kind of has a point. Well, maybe it's different, though. Because the person I'm talking to, they give me reasons why they lie, cheat, and steal with these other people. And I don't think they'd ever treat me that way. But the Cancer says that that's not how it goes. That it's just, today it's somebody else, tomorrow it's you. Let me think about it. Like, they have to, like, it seems really simple the way I'm putting it, but they really do have to mull it over. And over time, they believe in you. This person does trust you and believe, again, that you're on their side. So I think that's a big piece of it. Like, they don't think you're saying anything to be mean. They don't want to believe it. They want to believe you're not seeing it in the right light. They do try to go that way with it. But ironically, that's good, because that means they're trying to sort it out. Like, well, let me think. Cancer, you're seeing it this way, though. And you're like, well, this is how I'm seeing it. Well, Cancer, maybe you're seeing it this way. And the more they search that out, but trying to find different angles where you're wrong, where you're not really wrong, but they're trying to find different angles where they think you're wrong, they start, like, shutting down the window of, like, what they're seeing, and they're starting to see the truth, because the lies are getting smaller and smaller, and to the point where, like, well, I've debunked everything I thought the Cancer was seeing, and now I'm just seeing that the Cancer's telling me what they're actually seeing, and not only what they're actually seeing, but what's actually there. It takes a while. It's going to take a while for this change to take effect. The Four of Wands is telling me they're getting close, and they should hopefully stabilize with it and do better with it. Do better with it going forward. The inaction is very helpful, because, again, I don't feel like we're going back into the cycle, but we're not finishing the cycle yet. They haven't completed it. They haven't broken the cycle yet, but they're not starting another one either. So there's this stasis point where they have to make their own decision. You're doing the best you can. At some point, you're just going to have to let them make their own decision. I think cancer is good at this, but you can tell me if I'm wrong. At some point, you've just made your point, and you're just like, well, that's how I feel, and that's how it is. This is how I feel, and that's how it is. If you're not okay with it, I understand. We just won't talk about it. And that's that. So, because I feel like you're not... After a while, you're just kind of like... I've said it enough times. They're either going to... I mean, if they're going to go into another cycle, then they're going to go into another cycle. I'm hoping that they break the cycle, but if they do, they do. Because I feel like you're trying to help somebody break that cycle. You're trying to tell them, look, there's shadow elements here. There's things that aren't good for you. There's things you got to think about and you don't want to repeat. So let's try to break that. You can only do so much. 2 face-down cards. There will be progress here. I feel like it's not the best. Like, how do I say it? Like, how do I make this? It's like from going from a moped to a motorcycle, in the sense of like, okay, that's a better machine, but some people are still afraid of motorcycles. But it's kind of like, all right, it's kind of like there's an upgrade. The situation's better, but it still seems dangerous. Maybe that's a bad analogy because maybe you'd think a motorcycle's more dangerous. So maybe this is better. A smart car to like an SUV. I'd like to believe an SUV is safer because smart cars are so teeny. They freak me out. When I see people driving by in them, my heart jumps sometimes. Like, oh my God, that's a coffin on wheels. It just freaks me out. But especially where I live. So it's kind of like they're doing better, but they're still kind of driving recklessly. It's improving, but it's kind of like I'm still not completely satisfied. They're telling me there's going to be upgrade here. This is going to go better. They're going to make advancement, but you may be kind of skeptical if it's really enough advancement for things to end. They may have to go through this cycle a couple more times, but you are helping them progress. So it's kind of like, I'm trying to find a better analogy. It's kind of like they kept getting a 50 on the test, a 50 on the test, a 50 on the test. You help them, and they kind of get up to a 70. And you're like, well, I mean, that's better. I guess it's passing now. But you're like, it's still a C. Isn't a 70 a C? It's still a C. Like, barely. You just barely passed. But they might have to go through the cycle a couple more times because, like, all right, they were getting a 50, a 50, a 50. Now they got a 70. Notable improvement, but I feel like you're kind of like, that's not good enough. They need to do better. It might go through it one more time after that, and maybe the time after that they get like a 90. Wasn't perfect, but maybe they'll test out of the subject, if you follow me. It's improvement. You are making a difference. Everybody has to learn at their own pace. Everybody has to take these situations the way they take them. So it is worth it. It is working. They're just saying don't be down on yourself or don't worry too much because it is progressing. It is getting better. I just feel like you're still kind of worried and kind of like stressed about it. Like, oh, here we go again. Dang it. I thought they were listening to me. They are. They are definitely listening to you. It's just you're not seeing the level of improvement you want. But it is getting better. Maybe a time or two around the block again before they're done. But it's not going to be as bad as it was in the past, hopefully. So there's that. All right. Are we good? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.